Bro, it's all AI, but when you watch it the first time, you're like, wait, is that real? You look at it and it's like, oh my gosh, the guy is so dedicated to his job. Like, he's going to go push the doorbell. Even though he's already collapsing, he's gonna go push the doorbell. Like, what a badass. This is a hard worker. Like, let's hire this guy. Well, I mean, there might be some job requirements that might not work otherwise, but otherwise, like, talk about dedicated.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I got your order out here.
And he got like the whole butt crack and like his hand on his butt cracked. Like, like, this is the problem, you know, with the internet these days. It's like, that's funny, but it's also like AI. It's just a waste of time. But anyway, what was I looking at? Oh yeah, Trevor Milton. So somebody says brain rot. Yeah, exactly. All right. So outside of the AI DoorDash delivery people falling through people's decks, this is by far the scariest video yet that I've seen. It is on Instagram, and it's Trevor Milton's account. Now, what I love is when you look at somebody's Instagram and the only people that they are also followed by are reporters. That's a red flag. Unless they ran for, like, governor or something, right? But anyway, look at this. Trevor Milton says, I finally get to tell you guys. Now, let me remind you that Trevor Milton is a proven fraud. He is a proven fraud who rolled a hydrogen/electric vehicle down a hill to indicate that their hydrogen, or imply that their hydrogen propulsion system for their semi-truck was working. But they really just towed it down or up a hill and then let it go. And now Trevor Milton vehemently denies that this was fraud. Here's that actual video. The stock rocketed on this. Like, JP Morgan called it the story stock of the decade. I don't think it was of the decade, they said, but they definitely called it the story stock to buy. People are like, oh my gosh, this is huge. And the concept of what Nikola was doing was actually very smart. They wanted to create a pickup truck that would be half hydrogen, so you could fuel it up in 5 minutes and have renewable hydrogen, half battery, so you could have battery, the battery efficiency and have the hydrogen generators fill up the batteries. It was great. You could also use the battery infrastructure to sort of prop up the hydrogen infrastructure, which just doesn't exist. So the story was great, but they had AI, I mean, maybe not AI back then, but they basically had like photoshopped images of their ATVs and their trucks, and they were taking deposits of them, and then this rolled down the hill. This ends up kind of turning out to be, a big short, mostly because the story comes out and you get leaks from the inside that, no, this was actually a fraud. Anyway, so he gets sued by the SEC and, of course, donates $2 million roughly to the Donald Trump Foundation or his campaign or whatever. And so what a surprise, Donald Trump pardons Trevor Milton. Donald Trump, when he pardoned Trevor Milton, he didn't even really know the guy. The pardon of Trevor Milton was so sad because when you hear Donald Trump talk about it, you could hear, like, Trump doesn't even know anything about the guy. He just got told from his staff that, oh, he's a good guy and he was taken advantage of by the Democrats. And that's what makes me so scary is what Trevor Milton is doing now, which I'll show you. But first, look at what Donald Trump said when he was asked about it.
Reason for pardoning Trevor Milton?
Highly recommended by many.
See, Trump doesn't even know. He's got to look up into the sky and go, oh yeah, that's right, I pardoned Trevor Milton. Oh, my staff told me to pardon him.
Many people that was taken advantage of. He did a business deal like in Utah, as I have it, and
okay, he's a Mormon, but I don't actually believe the Nikola facility was in Utah. I actually thought it was in Arizona, but I might be confusing that. But anyway,
I think he was exonerated, and then they brought him into New York, where he had a rough road.
Yeah, correct. It was East Broadway Road, Phoenix, Arizona. So Trump doesn't even know the details of what's going on here. The guy's from Utah, but the business was in Arizona.
I mean, he was exonerated. It was a big celebration. Again, I don't know him, but I was.
The factory was in Coolidge, Arizona, Hauser Road, and then the office was on East Broadway Road.
They say it was very unfair, and they say the thing that he did wrong was he was one of the first people that supported a gentleman named Donald Trump for president. And
No, that's not what he did wrong. And so Donald Trump doesn't know. His staff, which gives actually, ironically, Donald Trump some plausible deniability, but it's the corruption around Donald Trump that lets people get away with this stuff. Because think about it. Like, all you have to do is be, I'll make this up, Susie Wiles, and be like, Trevor, 250K to me, Bitcoin's fine, 2 million to Trump, I'll get you pardoned. That's all it takes. And I'm not saying that, you know, Democrats aren't corrupt either. All the politicians are corrupt. I hate them all. But this is what happens when there's corruption. When there's corruption, you end up getting Trevor coming back.
So much fun. I finally get to tell you guys what I've been working on for so long.
Somebody says Trump is autopen. I mean, it's verbal autopen. Like, he's just listening to the corruption around him.
Just this company with a group of people called Syberjet. So I bought this company and I was like, you know what? I need to work on something to keep my mind sane during all this chaos, the hell I went through for the last 5 years, being indicted for something I didn't even do, being framed for a crime I didn't.
Bull crap. Let's look up Syberjet really quick. So what is this? Syberjet, the world's fastest and farthest flying light jet. Newer model coming soon. Request reservation. Cybervision. How interesting. This, by the way, Cirrus makes a Vision jet. And that's probably where they're borrowing the name from. Now, what's also very interesting is most plane manufacturers do not make their own flight decks. I happen to know this as somebody who's a licensed jet pilot. When you manufacture a jet, you actually just plug in like a Garmin flight deck. Okay, this isn't hard to understand. These aircraft manufacturers, there's so many components that, like, Embraer, for example, does not make their own engines. They get them from Pratt & Whitney, or Boeing gets them from Rolls-Royce, right? This is very normal, very common, not unusual at all. But the graphics they're already showing for this Syberjet thing already make me a little sussy about.
You did really good. Thank you.
Because I'm wondering, wait a minute, that already looks like you don't know what you're doing in aviation. And it makes me wonder, like, okay, here we go. Trevor the fraud is back at frauding. Now, maybe he wasn't a fraud. Maybe he was innocent. It's just my opinion, having covered all of the drama that happened with Nikola and then seeing this guy get pardoned, I'm disgusted. And then, so forgive me for being really skeptical of Syberjet, which is almost trying to borrow again from Tesla with Cybertruck, except it's Syberjet, spelled differently. Mind you, they also got sued by Tesla for borrowing like semi-truck designs, and they were in a legal battle with Tesla over that for quite a while. But it's wild to me. But anyway, we'll keep listening to Trevor Milton here, and then we'll keep looking at Syberjet. But this makes me sus already that this flight deck just looks graphically slapped together and not something that actually looks like a functional flight deck. Because I just never seen something like that before. Again, this is what happens when people just use Photoshop to slap together examples. I'll give you an example of a real flight deck. Here, I'll show you really quick. This is just an example of me flying into Heber, Utah, for example, in a jet. That's a flight deck. Right, so that's a real flight deck, but it's a Garmin 3000 aviation system inside of an Embraer manufactured aircraft, which is a Brazilian manufacturer. They're not going to make their own flight decks. So already I am mega sus just by looking at one of their first examples here. And so we'll see what else he pitches here.
By President Trump, and now just last week the SEC dropping the whole case against me.
Yes, because you paid money to Trump. That's how you got the SEC to drop the case against you.
Holy crap, talk about a comeback. It's like the American dream, you know, like
yes, the American corruption. America's for sale.
Everyone falls down, everyone gets their butts kicked in life, and you have to be willing to just be like, it's okay, that's all right. Like, I grew from it. I became 10 times stronger and wiser than I ever was.
You could fraud better now than ever before. Oh, okay.
Executive and CEO of Nikola. Now I get to come back and I get to bring all those skills and I get to transform the AV.
All the fraud
aviation
skills that he
industry,
has.
like I got to do for the transportation industry.
You didn't
If you look at
transform
the
anything in the transportation industry. You lied.
transportation industry, almost everyone now is doing electric semi-trucks, hydrogen semi-trucks. Why? Because of Nikola. We were the very first ones.
Yeah, everybody's doing hydrogen today because of you.
Remember that. The world followed us because we were pioneers. We were the first people. Now what we get to do is we get to do the same thing with aviation. So how are we going to pioneer aviation? Let me tell you about this. First of all, the company's called Syberjet. You can go to syberjet.com. The name's been around for a long, long time. The company was built by a guy named Ed Swearingen, a brilliant aerodynamicist. He developed it to be able to go Mach 8.3, and he achieved it. It got FAA certified, billions of dollars.
Oh, this is already bullshit. So they're saying they can keep your cabin altitude at sea level while you're at 41,000 feet. Bro, when I'm at 45,000 feet in a jet, my cabin altitude is 6,000 feet. And that's good. You know, a Boeing at 35,000 feet might be at like an 8,000 foot altitude. The higher the cabin altitude, the more you feel jet lagged and the more tired you can be, right? So this is why in business aircraft they pitch, we can get your cabin altitude lower. So for example, in Phenom 300E, like what I'm certified in, these aircraft get you to about 6,000 feet of cabin altitude. They're arguing, oh, we can get your pressurization down to sea level. Man, dude, I don't even want to know what pressurization systems you're pretending you have here.
Went into this program, and they ended up finally getting it certified. Long story short is with the downturn in the economy in 08, kind of shut the company down. And it's been sitting dormant for a long time, so I was able to pick up all those
so he bought a bankrupt idea, basically.
assets. And now what I've done is I brought the brightest minds over from the guys I actually trust, the guys that were really good and honest. I was able to bring those guys over from Nikola. So the former chief engineer, the former chief technology officer, and a whole slew of other amazing engineers that I trusted and that were honest and always stood up for what was right. These guys are now over here at Syberjet with me. So number one, what is it? Syberjet's the company. Number two, we build private jets. Number three, I'm bringing over all the talent.
Good luck getting 3,000 nautical miles of range on an 18,500 ramp weight, because that is roughly the Phenom. What were we? 17.4, I want to say. I should have it memorized.
That I trust, and that was amazing. I just wanted to tell you guys, it's so exciting because it's been bottled up for years, and now I get to finally tell you guys what we're doing. Look up syberjet.com, take a look, and we're going to let you guys follow along with us. This is going to be so awesome. We're actually going to create a TV series that follows us through all the challenges to get this jet from where it is right now to the SJ36 full production. Because remember, the SJ30 already, the current model, is already FAA certified, but it's nowhere near ready to be handing over to customers' hands, even though they did. So what we're going to do is we're taking that and we're modifying it and we're improving it beyond measure, and we're bringing it to the new world standards. The
weights are actually almost the same as the Phenom weights, and there's no way you're getting 50% more range.
The stuff that is like super advanced technologies that's in the automotive world, we're bringing to the aviation world. So you'll be able to remote control your plane. You'll be able to update it with your flight plan.
Nobody's going to remote control plane. Who cares? Like, what do you mean? You're going to sit like drone control your plane? That's insane. Like, yeah, the FAA is going to go for that? Bull crap.
Through your smartphone.
Crew, a one-person crew. I mean, you have 2 seats in the front. You could certify it at that weight for 1, I guess.
You'll be able to start it up and climate control it like you do.
Wow, that's a short cabin height. Cabin height 4.3 feet. That's low. That's really low. Maybe that's how they're trying to pull that off.
An EV. All this technology is not available on jets. We're going to be the first ones to have over-the-air updating. And guess what? We're building our own avionics. This is the only jet manufacturer that builds their own jets and their own avionics.
Yeah, okay, you're going to have your own flight deck. I saw your graphic, and I don't believe it as far as I can throw it. Which isn't far for this guy.
Than anything out on the market. And they're definitely way more advanced, which is cool. Follow along with the journey.
He's super excited like, for you. Hey, we're going to do everything. We're going to end up with... we're going to have our own avionics. We're going to have over-the-air updates, which who cares? You just have a maintenance, your maintenance crew plug in the SD card. Like, okay, or you'd make it over-the-air. That's fine. That's not that big of a feature. and we're going to be able to get 50% more range in an aircraft that's the same size as a Phenom 300. Mind you, we're going to fit 9 people instead of the 11 that the Phenom 300 can fit. Fine. Maybe that's how they want to try to get weights down or whatever. And we're going to pressurize it to sea level, which just isn't done in jet aircraft. And trust me, bro, I'm not a fraud. This is crazy. It blows my mind that he's branding this as the American dream. This guy is a guy who bought his way to freedom, and now he's coming back for some more frauding. This disappoints me, but I mean, I won't put my money anywhere near that, so it's okay. You know? It's crazy.
Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.